Good evening, everybody. How is everyone doing this evening? Oh, in the meadow we can build a snowman. Oh, are y'all ready to learn something tonight? Mm, mm. Uh, uh. Tina Kelly, my hero. Hello, all my friends. Look what I got here. I have wham. All right, so we got a lot going on tonight. All right, this is going to be uber cute. When I'm done with it, all right, get ready to take notes. Y'all know I got tips and tricks for you tonight, as always. Okay, so one of the biggest questions that I get: when do you use poof? When do you use ruffle? Blah blah blah. Okay, this wreath attachment, okay, is a perfect example of why you should use poof. So let me explain. Not all things that we want to put in wreaths have a flat back. This one does not. Okay, and it's pretty thick, as you can see. As you can see, it stands up pretty far above the board. So if we use ruffle, it's going to look like it's sticking pretty far out of the wreath. So this is an occasion in which we're going to use poofs. We're going to poof the night away. Poof, poof, ba-doop. Have fun at the Kentucky Derby. I'm going to do that this year. Y'all are just, if you keep sending me, I'm going to go to the Kentucky Derby. My friends. Oh, let me get my one zip tie. Here's my one zip tie. Here it is. I would hate to disappoint Laurie and not use a zip tie. So here it is. There's the zip tie, folks. All right. When doing poofs, we start in the center of the wreath. Like when we ruffle, we normally start on the outside of the wreath, but when doing poofs, you start in the center. So I'm going to push all my pipe cleaners out of the way and get my ones for the center ready because that's where we're going first. Can y'all excuse me just one second? My dog's barking, and the way that he's barking is kind of freaking me out, and I'm hold on. Sorry about that, y'all. He was like, I could hear him like popping and busting his nose up against the door. All right. So when you're doing poofs, you want your mesh to come from over the top of the roll. Okay. Make sure it's rolling over. When you start out, you want to gather your mesh up. Now, for those of you that do not have good hand strength, okay? If you do not have good hand strength when you start your wreath, okay, wherever you start at, get you a zip tie. Oh, look, it's a zip tie. All right. Take your mesh, lay it in, and I'm going to twist first with my pipe cleaner. Then I'm going to come with my zip tie to make sure my mesh is good and secure. So if you don't have good hand strength, definitely do not skip this step. Get your zip tie. All right. All right. Look, I used 2 zip ties. Somebody call Laurie. Okay, so then next thing I'm going to do is I like to use 12-inch poofs because it makes a thicker, fuller wreath, especially when you're using an oval. So I'm going to literally measure out 12 inches. We might use 3 zip ties. Be still, you're beating hearts, okay? All right, so what you want to do is you want to take your hand and you want to gather your mesh like so. And then gently, you don't have to do it tight, but you want to keep it nice and smooth. Okay, and like I said, I'm literally going to measure 12 inches. Notice how I've got my hand, and now what I'm going to do is where I measured my 12 inches, I'm going to bring that back and put this into my next tie. Remember, the trick to getting your mesh good and tight is pushing it down and then tie it in. For those of you that are zip tie aficionados, You can definitely do this with zip ties. Okay. Once again, take your mesh from the outside, gather it in. Now this is important so that you will have a pretty poof. Literally, I'm taking and I'm measuring 12 inches. Yes, this is 21-inch mesh. And we're going to tie that in. And now I'm going to sit here, run my mouth, and rock and roll. And we can chit-chat while I poof my little heart out. How about that? Do you want me to show you how much slower it goes with the Measure Buddy? Love the Measure Buddy. I used it to cut my ribbon. But this, you don't need the Measure Buddy. Because I've got my measurements right here on my table. Okay? The good thing about the Unique and the Creek board, check it out. Here's your dot. There's my measurement. I take my dot right over my measurement. Like so. So here we go. Right over my measurement. Okay? And then I whoop, 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 gather my mesh up. My 12 inches. And twist it in. Once again, do the same thing. Gather my mesh up. 12 inches. Exactly, Miss Judy. You can do that too. Everybody with me now? Thank you, Tina. I'm so glad you are. Hello over in YouTube land. How are y'all this evening? All right, so now we are back to our original pipe cleaner. So we're back to our starting point. Okay, now we need to get to our outside row. So what you want to do is you want to take your mesh, and I'm going to get this poof out of the way so you can see. Take your mesh, go to your closest pipe cleaner, zip tie, whatever, on the outside row. Lay your mesh in there. Lay it in there, and just tie it down. That's how you cross over to the outside. Everybody understand that? Everybody see that? We good? Moving on. Now we're going to rock and roll, still doing 12-inch poofs on the outside. side. They're over by the ribbon. They might be out of my Hobby Lobby was out. I don't remember where the snowman came from. It was in my stash. But I do have another cute snowman to show you, and I can tell you exactly where it came from. Because we're going to do this. I got some cute stuff I will show y'all that we're going to do. Okay. I've got so much cute stuff to show you. But I kind of wanted to take a break from Christmas and do something winter. So that's why we're doing this tonight. But I had a friend of mine. I said, hey, I would like a girl snowman. And she made me a girl snowman. And she's super cute. So I'll show you that as soon as I'm done with my poofs. Yeah, some of the sales associates haven't caught on to the words unique in the creek and they kind of glass over. I go into Hobby Lobby and I just kind of test them. Do you know where the unique in the creek boards are? And when they say, we don't carry those, I get to educate them. I use that as an educational moment to let them know, yes, you do. It's a wreath making board. All right, we're just about done. My Hobby Lobby is an hour away. When I go to Hobby Lobby, it's an event. All right, so we're on our last poof and we're back where we started. Once again, if you do not have good hand strength, lay this in, my friends. Go ahead and do your twist with your pipe cleaner and then grab you a little zip tie because you want to make sure that this is good and secure. Okay, that's 3 zip ties. I broke my record tonight. And you're going to want to cinch that down. Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. And then you simply just cut off the mesh. Like so. Everybody with me? I figure if I say zip tie enough, Laurie will appear. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to fluff, floof our poof. We want to floof our poof. So you want to just take them and pull them out. I make sure that I'm fluffing them between each poof. See how that's rounding it out beautifully? You know why you're here. It's because I said zip tie. That's why Laurie's here. I summoned her with the magic word, zip tie. Okay. That's okay, Laurie. You say A, and I say okay. See how pretty that is? So pretty, so nice. Pipe cleaner is not a bad word. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Pipe cleaner is not a dirty word. Pipe cleaner is just another tool in the arsenal for crafters. Just like a zip tie is. Shush, shush. Don't be hating on my pipe cleaner game. Look how pretty that is. So pretty, so nice, so nice. Isn't that pretty? Okay. Now, and I threw away the wrapper. Oh, Tina Kelly. Tina Kelly's going to smack her head one of these days and go, Jackie, why didn't you just keep the wrapper? She's going to message me before I go live. Can you dig the wrapper out of your garbage, please? She's going to start messaging me. Did you throw the wrapper away? All right. Look, it's my favorite. It's the heavy foil border stripe mesh. Check that out. Look how pretty that is and perfect for the snowman. So I cut my mesh 18 inches. $20 pieces, 18 inches. Ruffle, ruffle, ruffle. Now this is going to make our base even more beautimous. Whoop, whoop. Look, it's so pretty, so nice, so shiny, so nice. By the way, for those of you that don't know, okay. Laurie has white mesh that you can use, and you can use this border stripe mesh to make a snowman. She's got the 21-inch mesh in white. I knew you were going to ask me the number for the mesh, and I threw it away. I threw the wrapper away. I think I got Tina Kelly on the case, though. She's trying to find it. I warned her. Yes. It's turquoise. Y'all gonna make me dig it out of the garbage. Dang it. Well, it's not in the garbage. Maybe I saved it somewhere and it's buried. But it's not in the garbage, folks. Maybe it's under my mesh. Let me get to the end of my mesh pile. Tina Kelly will probably find it by then. But it's not in my garbage. The wrapper is. But the product SKU isn't. Did I actually do good and save it? Now y'all got me digging. Well, it's not my garbage. I had to have saved it. Where'd it go? Dang it. Hello. Well, there's my... Alright, I can't find it, y'all.
Really? I'll find it.
That's for my shower.
Oh, okay. I know the problem.
I'm looking for a wrapper that doesn't exist.
The wrapper that doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's the wrapper for this mesh because I was looking for the product number because I'm really bad about, you know, throwing my garbage away. Woo! Send me to the beach, D. I'd appreciate that. I could use... Nope, that's not it. I could use some, fun in the sun. Just make sure you send me to the beach where it's nice and warm. Nope. See, my husband can't even find a wrapper. Like, I must have kept it somewhere. I mean, I'm hiding it from myself, apparently.
You just want to find it later.
Like, who does that? Right? Nope, didn't put it under there either. See, now this is going to bother me that I can't find it. Anybody else ever do that? Where is here, D? Where is here? You'd have to say Florida. when you're saying come on down here. You ever notice how people from Florida don't have the southern accent that we do? They don't have a southern twang. Isn't it pretty? So pretty, so nice. I gotta think about it. I think it's been like, oh, it's been a while since I've been to Florida. Let me think about that. I actually think the last time I went to Florida, I was there with Andrea Brown, to tell you the truth. I think. Did anybody find the mesh yet to get the skew?
What does it look like?
That's not it.
What does it look like?
My husband's on a mission now, y'all, to help out here.
No long thing mesh.
It looks like.
No long thing mesh.
Nope.
Okay.
What you're looking for?
Yeah. Oh, it's open.
Looks like that.
Okay.
Oh! I found it!
Oh, of course you did.
I found it! Ha ha! Aha! Was it really almost 5 years ago, Dre? Okay. I found it! Okay. It's ice blue. Alright, that was my accomplishment for the evening. I found it. Wow. Okay. Time for Jackie to go to Florida again. Aren't you so proud of me, Tina Kelly? I need to start leaving myself a note. Do not throw the wrapper away. Because that's the only thing I have an issue with. That's what I need to do, Tina Kelly. I just need to start sending you the SKUs before, as I pull my products out. I promise you, I don't care. Like, Dre will never, ever, 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 ever forget going to Gatlinburg with me. Ever. Ever. She didn't even need to take a picture of that moment, y'all. It is etched in her memory forever. Deanna Davis! Another witness to me running across the store like a lunatic because my mouth was on fire. Why doesn't everybody just pile in? Jackie's most embarrassing moments. I'm glad you're here, Deanna, because now I can tell another story of Jackie's embarrassing moments. But I hate telling, stories unless the person that was there is here. So now that you're here, I can tell this story for the first time ever. Ever. Maybe not. Nah, we won't tell that one. I've done my fair share of embarrassing myself over the years. I'm just letting y'all know that. I'm really good at it. Really, really good. And come the end of the day, like, it really doesn't faze me. I'm good with embarrassing myself. Dre has witnessed me embarrassing myself on about 20 different levels. She even suffered through me singing karaoke. Poor Dre. Y'all feel sorry for her. Poor Dre. Isn't it beautiful, y'all? Y'all, I don't know if I've ever told you the story, but since Dre and Deanna are here, they were there so I can tell the story, okay? Dre, if you're drinking, put your drink down. Whatever you're drinking, y'all need to put down, okay? So, a few summers ago, I went to Texas and I stayed at Dre's house for a few days, and Deanna Davis went with me. Okay? And it was our first night there. And I was telling Dre a story about lizards and how I don't like lizards. It's not that I'm scared of them. I'm not scared. I just don't like them, y'all. I really, really don't like them. And I was telling Dre a specific story about geckos. Okay? Now, I was already pretty aware of the snakes and whatnot. There were some other things about Texas this far down I was not aware of. So we were sitting outside. It was a nice evening, y'all. We were talking, cutting up. We were having a good time. Okay? We were all about it, having a good time. So I'm sitting there and I'm telling Dre this story about what happened. And I was telling her about this gecko. Okay, because I went to stay at somebody's house and they had a little gecko in their guest room, and that's where I was supposed to stay. And I said I saw a Best Western Plus on my way. I'll be there. And I backed over them and hit them with my suitcase and everything on my way out. Dre calmly as can be, she starts pointing, y'all. Now I've got my back to the door. And she starts pointing. She goes, like that? Calmly pointing. I turn around and look, y'all. And if you've ever been to Texas or know anything about Texas, geckos come out in flocks at night to eat bugs. And I mean flocks. Okay? I instantly got up. I don't know. I might have crawled over Deanna. I might have crawled over Dre. Who knows? But I almost ripped Dre's door, her sliding glass door, off the hinges. It was almost not intact. Me going into the house. To get me back out, we had to readjust my seating. I had to sit on the exact opposite side of the table so I could keep my eyes on the creepy crawlies. Okay? I thought Deanna was going to wet herself laughing at me. And Dre, like, I don't know what she was more concerned about. She was laughing so hard she didn't even care that I almost destroyed her deck door. And that wasn't the first time. That wasn't the first time. Okay, yeah, well, I'm getting to the scorpion story. Let me tell y'all, there's some stories about my trip to Dre's, but let me tell you, and then we went to Dre's warehouse, and we were coming home that day, and there I am, coming in her front door, and there's a freaking lizard out there, y'all. It's not a gecko, it's some kind of lizard, and Dre has these boxes that were shipped to her house sitting out there, and this lizard's sitting there doing push-ups. Y'all, it's sitting there doing push-ups on her porch and flexing its muscle, y'all. I'm like, ugh. I go flying in the front door. And then one night, y'all, I'm laying in bed. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Literally like 2 o'clock in the freaking morning. And I'm laying in bed. And I hear all this commotion. Now keep in mind, the room that I'm at, the bathroom is separated by the wall. Separated by the wall. And I hear all this commotion, this beating and bang at 2 o'clock in the morning, y'all. And I hear Dre's voice and I hear her friend's voice. And I'm sitting there going, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on, y'all. I just grabbed my blankets a little bit tighter because I was like, I don't know what's going on. But it sounded like it was loud enough like they were rearranging furniture, my friends. I'm telling you, it sounded like they were rearranging furniture. And I'm like, I don't know who rearranges furniture at 2 o'clock in the morning, but I don't want to participate in this. Okay, but the next thing I know, along with the beating and banging, I start hearing cussing. Okay? And the words were die. And I'm just sitting there going, I really don't want to know what is going on. By the way, my ribbon tails are cut 14 inches. And I cut 15 of each color. So I get up the next morning, y'all. And I finally asked them, I was like, what was going on? How is that possible? What is going on here? I was like, what was going on last night? And then that's when Loretta, oh, there was a scorpion. Calm as can be. Oh, there was a scorpion in the bathroom. I was like, really? Because it sounded like y'all were rearranging the freaking furniture last night. And I definitely didn't want to participate in that. And all the noise was Loretta swinging her boot at the scorpion. I'm out. Okay, I'm out on that. Then my last day there, y'all. My last day there. Now, I knew about the scorpions, okay? Now that I've been schooled about the scorpions. And so, every time I got out of bed, I wore my shoes, y'all. I made sure to wear my shoes everywhere that I went. Except for my last day there. I pad up to go to the bathroom. It's my last day there. I didn't think anything about it. Okay, I go to the bathroom. I'm sitting on the toilet, y'all, and I look over by the sink, and there's a scorpion sitting there next to the sink. Okay? I'm sitting there with my pants down, and this scorpion's looking at me like, what's up? And I'm like, no, you gotta be kidding. I have no shoes on. To get out of the bathroom, I have to walk past this thing. And I'm like, I'm sitting in there and trying to finish my business, and the conversation I'm having with it is going, please stay where you're at. Please stay right where you're at. Okay, because if it would have started running toward me, here's your mental image. If the thing would have started running toward me, y'all, I would have screamed. Dre would have come running, and she would have witnessed me sitting on the toilet with my legs flung up in the air. Okay? And she would have been laughing harder about how I was sitting on the toilet than anything else. So I'm sitting there trying to figure out how to not create a scene for myself. Okay? So as I'm sitting there on the toilet, and plus everybody's still asleep, y'all. It was early because we had a 12-hour drive back. So I'm trying not to wake anybody up. Because basically the night before we had said our goodbyes so that everybody could sleep. All right, so on the outside, we're going to put one of each ribbon, one of each, in each tie on the outside. Okay? So I'm looking around trying to figure out how to get out of the bathroom, and it just so happens that somebody, Dre, actually has a magazine rack in her bathroom. And in this magazine rack, there was a book, y'all. It was about that thick. It was a pretty thick book. So I did my business. I got off the toilet, and I got that book. And I went up to the scorpion, y'all. And I just dropped that book on the scorpion and walked out of the bathroom. I left it there. I literally left it there. Okay, I left that scorpion and walked out. Got my stuff, got dressed, got my vehicle, and went home. Didn't even tell anybody that I did that, y'all. I didn't send anybody a message that I did that to the scorpion. Nothing. Okay? Next thing I know, I get a message from Dre's daughter, Jessica, and she sits there and she goes, that was awful nice of you to leave the scorpion some reading material. It needed something to do while it was waiting for me to clean its guts up. True story, y'all. Me and... yeah. And Dre just walks around like this is everything. This is okay. No problem. Not a big deal. Not at all. And she'd sit there and tell stories, you know, about like, well, I was in the bathroom one day and there was one sitting on the toilet paper roll looking at me. On the bright side, the biggest reason that I survived the trip, because otherwise Deanna would have got left in Texas and I would have never looked back. On the bright side, the whole time that I was there, I never saw a snake. Okay? Because if I would have seen a snake, Deanna would have had to get a flight back to Kentucky. Like, I wouldn't have, my daughter would have too. My daughter was with me, y'all. My daughter was with me on this trip. And her and Deanna would have been hitchhiking back to Kentucky. And I promise you, none of them knew how bad I didn't like creepy crawlies till this trip. Okay? Like, they didn't really understand or comprehend when I told them I see these things. I'm like Jesus walking on water. Okay? Because I can. I see a snake and I can walk on the water. Literally can. And just for the record, on our trip, there were parts of the road where Deanna probably would have been happy walking anyway as opposed to riding. there should have been warning signs on the road. Okay, make sure you wear the most dependable over-the-shoulder boulder holder in history. If you are a well-endowed lady, okay, you're going to get black eyes on this road kind of thing. Make sure you have dental insurance, because we're driving down this road and it's and I hear Deanna over there. Her teeth are just smacking. You can hear her teeth clanking around in her mouth. I was afraid she was going to chip a tooth. The Deanna bobblehead was invented that day. Okay, the snakes that y'all have crawling around Florida, okay. I'm using 15 of each color. Look, I love Texas. I love visiting Texas. But I'm here to tell you, I could not live there, y'all. I could not live. I could not. I could not. Aww. Don't worry, y'all. My ribbon will lay better here in a minute. Well, y'all, we got enough creepy crawlies here in Kentucky for me. And I'm used to, like, my variety of creepy crawlies that we have here in Kentucky. Y'all know what I mean? We have our skinks and salamanders and our variety of snakes. So, you know. Alright, so when you go to the inside, we're just going to put one ribbon in each tie because the ties are closer together. Oh, there's my other partner in crime. She could tell some stories on me, y'all. And it's actually funny. I just had a friend of mine move to Texas, and I was like, "Oh, what part of Texas?" And she told me, and I said, "Well, you seen any scorpions yet?" And she said, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, you seen any scorpions?" I didn't know there were scorpions here. Because the ties are closer together, if you put 2 ribbons in each one, so it's up to you, it's very heavily ribboned. It's like too much. And if I say it's too much, y'all, that's a lot. If I say it's too much ribbon, it's a lot. Just to let you know. I could just imagine me and my husband living in Florida, and he loves to play golf. He'd probably be sending me pictures of the alligators that he saw on the golf course. And my response would be, better you than me. That's a whole different variety of horror stories.
Yeah, last time I played golf in Florida, they told me, if you hit your ball in the water, don't try to go get it.
Duh.
Okay.
I wouldn't. It's Florida. They have alligators. No, thank you.
I hit it in the rough. I didn't notice it. I didn't care.
Okay, y'all. Apparently I can't count, or I missed a tie, or something. I missed a tie, y'all. I had to have. There it is. I found it. Some days that's how I feel. I'll just stay in my little happy. I need one more black and white. I stay in my little happy corner of the world. Okay. I was very happy, y'all. This year, this summer, I only saw one snake, and I thought that was a freaking victory.
It didn't fall from the sky.
Last piece of ribbon. I only saw one, and I was up on my deck 10 feet above it, so I was okay. Okay, so at the beginning, I showed you how the snowman really sat on top of this. We're going to nestle him way down into the wreath. So first things first, I'm going to get out my handy dandy ice pick, and we're going to seek and destroy. I think I Googled it one time. I think it's Iceland. There's no snakes. Well, Joyce, unfortunately, I left my ice pick in Kentucky. Ireland. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you. I knew it was somewhere there's no snakes, and I'm like, I think that's where I need to retire. All right, so we're going to nestle his head at the top first. And the reason I'm going to do it at the top first, because I can always add a bow at the bottom. Some of y'all might want to add the bow at the top. I'm going to add it at the bottom. Bottom! Whoa! Hey, come back here. In the meadow. Okay, Jackie, stop singing. Don't punish him. I feel like I'm the only person that sings when I'm making a wreath. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I want this really, because I don't want him sitting on top of the wreath like that. I don't. So I'm really going to like push down on him to make it, I'm going to force him. I want him to sink as far down into the wreath as he possibly can. The whole reason I did poofs is so he wouldn't look like he was floating in air on ruffles. Get down, Frosty. Once again, whoop, let's go after the pipe cleaner. Come here, pipe cleaner. And then what I'm going to do, once again, I'm going to aid smushing this. I'm smushing him, like cramming him down into the wreath, y'all. So I'm going to push down on him to pull him into the wreath. Ugh. As snugly as possible. So see, now he's not, see how I pulled him in and now this is the cider, he's not as thick. He's not floating on the wreath. For those that want to see the back of the board, there you go. Oh no, I talked to my wreaths. Next up, my favorite, flex tube. We're going to add some flex tube. On the outside, we're going to put one of each color. I cut my flex tube 24 inches. I talk to myself a great deal. And it seems like when I talk to myself, that's the only time my husband can hear me. It's because it's my favorite. Whoa. See, Deborah gets it. She's like, oh yes. Oh yes, that's that selective hearing. There it is. I don't know. Deb heard the microwave. She wants to know what's for dinner, Greg. $1 million chicken casserole. For those of you, if you don't have flex tube, whatever, I would also recommend using 10-inch spiral mesh. Use snowdrift for doing a snowman wreath. So pretty, so nice. I'll send you the recipe, Deb. It's really, really good. You can decide for yourself. Or you can come visit sometime and make my husband cook it for you. Ooh. I need to make him make brownies so I can bring you brownies. You sent me with brownies last time I went to Deb's. He's not willing to share his chocolate right now. Deb wants the brownies. She said, please. And she said, stop laughing. No, ma'am, I did not. I did not. By the way, we're going to do a viewer's choice on what I'll do Wednesday. I'll show you your choices, and then y'all can pick what I'll do Wednesday. Both of them are so cute. I cut it 24 inches. Well, long time no see, Mr. Tom Hutton. Alright, so here's what we have so far. So let me show y'all how I cut flex tube. I saved doing the flex tube in the center, cutting it, to show y'all how I cut flex tube. Alright, so what I do, so in case you didn't know it, flex tube is really stretchy. So when you measure flex tube, you don't want to stretch it. Right? And to cut down on the amount of time, I will cut 2 pieces at once. So I line it up and I don't touch it. I don't pull on it. 24 inches. Line it up, don't pull on it. The good thing about flex tube is it doesn't have to be perfect, my friends. Because it's supposed to be fun and whimsical, so no perfect measurement required. So once again, this is jute flex tubing. It has more stretch than the mesh flex tubing. Well, a whole lot more. So don't do that. Don't stretch it. Just lay it out and cut. Alright, so for the center, I cut just 5 of each color because everything, the ties are so close together. We're just going to put every other tie. So we're just going to go in the black and white stripe, every other tie. I love flex tube. Love it. But y'all know that already. These are a few of my favorite things. And as I go around, I'm going to fix my ribbon from where I put my snowman in. And I have goody. Oh, why did y'all let me do that? Y'all are supposed to keep me in line. Ta-da! Okay. Let's make a bow. Shall we? We shall. But real quick, so you all can start voting for what to do Wednesday. We have her. This was made by Pizzazz Wreaths. She's a good friend of mine. Look at how cute she is. This was I asked her to make me a girl snowman. That's Pizzazz Wreaths. And then these guys, or we can do, these are so cute. These are from Dora Schaefer. Y'all, look at him. Look at that face. And he has little friends. We love these. So y'all have to pick. It's a hard choice. Do we do the snowman or gingerbread? Decisions, decisions. Look, Joyce is like, I'll sit here all night. Just go ahead and do both. Do both of them Wednesday. Y'all are no help. You're going to make this a split decision, and I'm still going to end up picking. All right, to break up the monotony with the stripe, we're going to use dot. Because it reminds me of snowballs. This reminds me of snowballs. Look at how many different, like, yes. So we need to do that because that reminds me of snowballs. Jackie, if you don't have anything better to do Wednesday night, we want you to do both, please. Those gingerbread are so cute. I was like, I gotta have them. I need those in my life. I was like, I thought my gingerbread was cute. My gingerbread's cute. The gingerbread I made was cute, but those are just like, aha. Best part was I didn't make them. They're both really cute, aren't they? They're both awesome. And if I threw a third thing in there, y'all would be like, Jackie, Jackie. But I actually do have a third thing in there because, believe it or not, my mind bubbles over and I like have a ton of projects. But I won't do that to y'all. More dots. Gotta have more dots. Deb's like, I want to see the snow lady. I do have some cute stuff to go with the snow lady. We have Koopa cakes, big cupcakes, to go with the snow lady. And we have lollipops and marshmallows. I have sweet treats. So she's going to be a sweet treat snow lady. And then if I do that, I have to order more oval boards. I need more oval boards. Choice is like, I'll send you mine. I'll send you mine. Just do that wreath, Jackie. Just do that wreath. Na. If you like it, then you better put a bow on it. Thank you, Miss Tina Kelly. And the other one is Dora Shaver. It's Wood Ideas by Dora on Etsy. You can also follow both of them on Facebook. Oh. Do y'all ever just sit there and go, I just remembered something, and you're like, okay, where is it? I'm pretty sure they're downstairs, and I'm not going to dig them out. They're snowflakes. 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 They're both D. I use 1.5 and 2.5. I use 2.5 toward the bottom and 1.5 toward the top. Aw, thank you, Miss Joyce. I appreciate that. Well, hello, Miss Barbara. How are you feeling? That's a big bad bow. Yay! Okay. More goodies, y'all. We have snowflakes. These are from Hobby Lobby. And then we have some silver picks. I'll quit singing one of these days, y'all. These are from Unique and the Freak. These picks, though, 1, 2, 3, that's all we're taking off here of the pick is the curly Q. Because I don't want these things, they're too long. Which is fine. We'll save those for something else. And because the wreath is so big, I will message Miss Sandra and say, hey, did you list her? Is this a one of a kind? All right. Oh, my husband found snowflakes, y'all. He found the snowflakes. Oh my gosh. I like these snowflakes better, y'all. And they're from Dollar Tree. Nope. Because these are large and in charge. They're like the boss of snowflakes. And every year that Dollar Tree has had them, I just clean them out. Because they got silver in them. Dollar Tree. Either way, y'all, both snowflakes cost the same, but these have silver in them, and they're so pretty. So that's what we're going to use. Because I love them so much. don't we? Aren't y'all glad my husband found those? He's so useful. One of these days, maybe we'll get him to actually make a wreath. Y'all hear him laughing at me? Okay, so what we're going to do with the snow flick. So check this out. Another advantage to pipe cleaners. All we have to do, these things are lightweight, they're styrofoam.